Yes. So I hope you have tried yesterday's program, right? So have you tried yesterday's program? Yes. Just hello world. Okay, good. Praful is saying it. Yes. Okay, that's good. Fine. Yesterday I told you just writing a program of hello world and running it on your console is quite enough, right? So now today we will move further. So the notepad, right? So yesterday we have seen how to print hello world in Java. Just I'll revise it quickly, right? In Java, we write a class, we give some name, let's suppose hello world. W should be capital. We call it as a camel case, right? So inside this, we write um, public static void main, okay, then string args. Fine. So then we write system dot out dot println. Okay. So hello world. This is how we write the program in Java. This is a simple program in Java that allows us or helps us to print these two simple words, hello world, right? So now let's just try to elaborate what it is. Actually, the control starts from the main function. You pick up any programming language, you'll find that control starts from the main function, right? And then it goes inside it and the statements inside it gets executed, right? So generally in other programming languages like C and C++, the main function is never inside the class, right? We write the main function outside the class, but in Java the main function is always there inside the class, right? So for the time being you remember this, or you can make your mind that this is a Java rule that public static void main has to be there inside the class. Okay, so now today we are going to write some more programs, right? So second program, this was the first one. Second program, take two numbers and add those, right? In short, addition of two numbers. Fine. So now I'll make some changes here only because we already have this file hello world. So as we are doing addition, so I'll name this class as addition. Okay, so inside addition, ADDITION. Okay, so inside this I need two variables. Those will hold the values, right? So two numbers means I'll take two integers, right? So in Java you can define variables like this. If it is of type integer, write int a. Okay, then next int b. So these are the two numbers and we have defined it, right? So this is how we actually define a variable, right? So a is a variable, b is another variable. Now let's assign some value to it. So we can assign the value to it like this: a is equal to 10, just like in maths, right? You used to assign some value to some variable, right? So a is equal to 10. So now a is holding the value 10, and now I'll say b is equal to 20. Okay, so now I'll take one more variable, let's suppose int c, and we will add these two values. So c is equal to a plus b. Fine. So c is equal to a plus b. So just like earlier program, we will print the value of c, right? Now c is a variable. So while we write it inside the system.out.println, s is capital system dot out dot println, as this c is a variable. So while putting it inside the system.out.println, you don't give the double quotes, you simply write this as it is. Okay, so now let's make another file and put this code into it. So notepad, and as I said yesterday, I'll save this file with the same name, addition.java. Okay, so now we have to compile it and then run it. Yesterday we have seen cmd, then first we need to go up to that directory. So the directory is actually a D drive, and the folder name is Jeet. So I guess it is here. Yes. So E drive and Jeet, right? So let me just zoom it for you. Here it is. So in order to go to the E drive first, I'll write like this: E colon enter, then CD space, the folder name is Jeet, enter. Okay, so I'm here. You can see using dir, here there is a file addition.java. Fine. So now we will compile this. So to compile, we have a command java c space addition. You should write exactly the same name, addition. You can use the tab button in your keyboard. Here you can see I have not typed the things. I have just put or hit the tab, right? So addition.java, right? So here there is an error. So here, remember this. Actually, the string has the first letter capital string as well as the system.out.println, right? So here there is only one issue, right? As I said, it's okay if you are getting some issues into your program. You should be able to read this and correct it as well, right? So what I'll do is, let us just go to that program. Here it is, and here it was string. I'll make it capital and save it. Don't forget to save it, right? And after that, again compile it. Again you can use the arrow keys, up and down keys, right? So to get the previous command on the command line, hit enter. Yes, it is blank. It means that there are no errors, right? So now we will have to run this, right? So java addition class name, whatever the class name. Again you can type, hit the tab button, right? And you will see addition.java, but this won't work. If you hit enter, you will find some error, right? So actually this is not the convention. The convention is java space class name. That's it. Okay, so you can see the answer is 30. A and B has the value 10 and 20 respectively, and the addition of those are is 30, right? We got this. So this is quite easy program, right? So similarly you can do some other programs, so I'll keep it for your homework, right? So use the same code. So this is your homework. Use the same code and write addition. Addition we already written. Addition, subtraction, then multiply, then division. Okay, so use the same code and write subtraction, multiplication and division program. So this is your homework. Fine. So now let's move to some other program. So here we are making notes. Next is, my next problem statement is the third one. Take two numbers, of course integers, assign some value and print which one is greater. Okay, again a simple program, very simple program, right? So up to this it will be as it is, so the further statements will be quite different. So let me just write the program for you. Class, let's say here we are comparing, so let's say comparison. C should be capital, right? So don't forget the conventions. So comparison. Fine. Now uh, public static void main, public static void main. So here we are going to write this so many times so that you'll remember this args. Okay, so because of the repetition you'll keep in mind these things. Fine. So now two numbers int a, and remember that you can assign the value here also. A is equal to 20 equal to, right? So this is the one way you can define, right? Int a, then you assign the value like this, or you can directly write like this, int a is equal to 20. It's okay, it works fine. Next is int b is equal to, let's suppose 12, right? So obviously we can say that a is greater, right? So now we are going to compare this, which one is greater, right? Just like in our school we learn some comparison operators, right? Like less than, then greater than, then equal to sign was there, not equal to sign was there, right? So similarly we are going to use these comparison signs, right? And we will use the condition if, right? So in Java we have a if condition and its syntax is like this: if, then condition, statements, right? So if let me just write a syntax here for you of if condition, then statements, right? You can have multiple statements, like 1 2 3 4. Fine. And you also have the else part. Else, so if this condition does not satisfy, then the control goes here, right? So actually it takes true or false value. If the condition is true, the control goes inside, and if the condition is not true, the control goes into the else part if it is written. Sometimes this else part is also not written, right? So here also there can be some multiple statements, right? And if there are multiple statements, it is must that you should write these opening and closing brackets. Okay, so now, and yes, if there is a single statement, it's okay if you do not write this opening and curly or closing curly bracket, right? So here I'll put some condition. A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, then what it is? It is A is greater. So I'll print system dot out dot print ln. I'll print like this: A is greater. Okay. Else what I'll do? Else system dot out dot println B is greater. Now observe, here I am not writing these or putting these curly brackets because I have a single statement. Okay. So now uh, let's put it into some program and run this. Windows R, notepad, right, and save this as, okay, here observe I have written the system S small, right? So let's save this, and we will give the same name as that of the class name, that is comparison. 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 I hope it is correct. Java, yes, spelling is correct. Dot Java, and I'll save this again, compile and run. So let's zoom this. Java, Java C, put a tab, comparison.java, hit enter. So there is no error. And then Java comparison. Okay, yes, I made a mistake in writing the class name or file name, right? The spelling is not exactly the same, because of which it is saying that the could not find or load the main function. So let me just see this. What is the class name? Addition dot class comparison. And what is the difference? Comparison dot Java. Okay, actually here there is a, while writing the class name I have put a, and while writing the file name I have not put that. So because of that it is saying there is a error, could not find the or load the main class comparison, right? So you should understand these errors also. See, a is greater because we put the value of a greater, that is it was 20, and the value of b is 12, so a is greater. Fine. So now let's move to the another program. Now the fourth one. Mm, take a variable and put some value, as uh, marks, right? Say it's out of 100, right? And based on the value, print whether it is or it is pass, fail, pass, fail, then first class, second class, then distinction, right? So based on that value, you have to print like that. So distinction. Okay. So now, here you can observe if suppose marks is 67, right? So actually in engineering we have um, distinction after 66, right? So for the time being I'll consider this, right? So what is the range if suppose marks are less than 40? Okay, then generally it is failed, right? And if suppose let's consider the case of pass. So what will be the case of pass? So for pass it is um, marks should be greater than 40, that's for sure, then only you are pass, or equal to as well, greater than or equal to 40, right? And actually this is the symbol of and in programming, Java programming. And means along with this there is a must condition, marks has to be less than 50, because 50 and above will be the second class, fine, right? So this is the condition for pass. Then for second class, for second class we should have marks, let me just put it at some same, marks should be greater than or equal to 50, and marks has to be less than what, 60, because including 60 and above it will be the first class, right? So for first class, marks has to be greater than or equal to 60, and marks should be less than what, say 66, because 66 and above will be the distinction. And if you have marks greater than 66, so it will be distinction. Okay, fine. So if marks greater than or equal to 66, then it is distinction. So these same conditions we are going to put inside the if and else if, and we are going to get the similar output, right? It is very easy, right? So let's write another program. Let me just close the unwanted thing. By the way, this is a double slash, and this double slash is used to comment, right? Why I have written this double slash? Because when you write this double slash, so the lines or whatever you write in front of it have no effect in the program, right? So if you don't use this double slash, the program will consider that this is a part of the code and it will try to compile it and it will give us error, right? So better to comment it, right? And for commenting we use double slash, right? So now let's open a new notepad. Let's write a program. Let's say class marks. See, public static void main string args. Okay, then it is, as it is integer, so I'll write int marks is equal to, for the time being I am giving some value to it, right? So just write the if else conditions. So if the first condition is this, I'll just copy it because we have already created this. So what I'll do is I'll copy the whole thing and we'll put it into the comment. So I've shown you the one way of doing the comment is double slash, and I'll be showing you the another way of doing the comment. I'll put all these lines here and we'll put a comment. So if you have a multiple lines, you can put a comment like this, slash then star, and it will end with star and slash, right? So all these lines are inside the comment, and it is just for my reference because it will be quite easy rather than every time switching the notepad, right? So if marks is greater than 40, less than 40, it is failed, right? So system dot out dot print ln what, pass semicolon. This semicolon is always there after the statements, right? So only after the condition we don't give semicolon. After defining the class we don't give semicolon. After defining this main function we don't give semicolon, right? But after each and every statement you have to give the semicolon. This is the syntax or rule of Java. Okay, so now if this is less than 40, then it is fail actually. Why I have written pass? Sorry, fine. Then else if, right? Again we'll check the condition this, then else if another condition, if mark is greater than or equal to 40 and less than 50, then let's put some lines, right, so that we will see it neatly. So here it will be pass. Okay, now I'll just copy and paste it. The third condition, if marks is this one is done, okay, this one is not done, right? So this is the condition, and so for this condition what should be the output? It is a second class, right? Now the third one, again I'll copy this and we'll change the conditions. Third one is this, right? So it is going to give me the output as first class, and finally else if marks greater than or equal to 66, then distinction. Okay, so now we are done with our program. So I'll save this, save as, let me just copy, okay, the marks M has to be in capital letter. Okay, so copy it, I'll save as control V marks dot Java. Okay, so saved it. So currently the value of marks is 56. So what should be the output? it has to be the second class. So I'm just saving this, compile and run. So okay, fine. Java C, what is the file name? Marks.java. Okay, there are no errors. So Java, then marks, second class, right? So as the value is 56, it is second class. So let's change the value. Change the value to, let's say, only 6. So as it is less than 40, uh, it will be failed, right? So I'm saving this, right? I'm pressing Ctrl S and I've saved this. And once you save the changes, you have to compile again, right? Because you have made the changes in the program, so the class file has to be updated, right? Earlier the class file will be the old, right? So Java C marks.java, right? So marks, it is failed, right? So now I'll show you, just in case if you change this and you do not save this, right? So I've changed this and I have not saved this notepad, and let's just see, because this is a 65, it should give us the output as first class, right? So let's just see, I have not saved this. So Java C and Java marks, it is giving me fail because as it is not saved, the things are not reflected. Or one more thing I'll do, I'll save this and I will not compile this, right? So I've saved this. Now I will not compile and I'll just simply say Java marks. Again it is giving me fail, right? So first thing, you have to save the file. Second thing, you have to compile the file, right? So Java C marks.java and Java marks, it is first class. Now it is giving me the correct output. Fine. So now I hope you got this program, right? So let's do some more programs, right? Remember, in earlier program, we have just written if and else. And in this program, we have written if, else if, else if, else if, else if, right? So if this condition is not true, then it will go and check for this condition. If it is not true, then it will go and check this condition and so on, right? This is also called as if else ladder, right? So this code, let me just put it into the notes. Here are our notes. So this is also called as if else ladder. Okay, fine. Now we will do some more programs. One more program, and that will be the end of the session. Um, do you remember the types of triangles in the mathematics? Next program, types of triangle. So let me just go back to your school. I have a diagram of it. Control structure. Hmm. Okay. Refresh. Yes. Here there is a diagram. This is a types of triangle. right? So first one is equilateral triangle, second one is isosceles triangle, third one is Selous triangle, then right angle triangle, right? So why it is called as equilateral triangle? All sides equal, or all the angles are equal, right? If a triangle is having all the angles equal, we call it as equilateral triangle. Isosceles triangle, the true angles are equal and the third one is not equal. Then Selous triangle, none of the angles are equal with each other. Right angle triangle, one of the angle is 90-degree, right? So now what this has to do with our programming, right? So nothing, but just we have a problem statement based on this. So I just take you back to your school days, uh, right here. So types of triangle. So I have three variables, a, b and c. So like this, better I'll write in this fashion: int a, int b, int c. Okay, so now these three are angles of the triangle, right? And we will be putting some value to it, right? I'm putting some random values, and based on these values you have to state what type of triangle it is, right? So here you have some criterias, like if a, b and c all are equal, then it is equilateral triangle. If a and b are not equal and c is not equal, then it is isosceles triangle, and so on, right? So we'll try to write all the conditions one by one. So I'll directly write into a program and I'll explain you the logic, same for the same. Okay, so let's open another notepad, create a class triangle. Okay, T has to be capital. Again you have to write public static void main, then string args. System, before that we'll put this, right? So these are the angles of the triangle, right? So we'll start writing the conditions for it. Okay, so first condition is all the angles are equal. Let's suppose if a equal to b. Actually in maths we used to write like this: a equal to b to check, but actually in programming a equal to b means the value of b is assigned to a, right? So if you want to compare it, you have to use double equal to in programming. In Java, a equal to b, right? So a is equal to b, and there is a must condition, and b is also equal to c, right? And now should I write c is also equal to a? I think it's not needed, because if a is equal to b and b is equal to c, then c has to be equal to a, right? So now system dot out dot println, this is equilateral triangle. Okay, semicolon. Fine. Now let's write some another condition. So just like this, if A equal to B and B is equal to C, I'll write if A is not equal to B and B is not equal to C. So in Java, not equal to symbol is like this. Not is this exclamatory mark and equal to sign, and B is exclamatory mark and equal to sign. If A is not equal to B and B is not equal to C, then what type of triangle it is? It is a Selenium triangle. Then next, we will check for the right angle triangle. So if A is equal to 90, either of the angle is 90 degree, or in Java or symbol is like this, two pipes, right? So this symbol is right near to your, okay, let me just open the virtual keyboard on screen keyboard, so that you will understand which key I am pressing. Okay, so this one, right? So here after pressing the shift, you can see this one is visible, so this key I am pressing, right? So because of this, the symbol is coming here, right? So now if A equal to 90, or B is equal to 90, or C is equal to 90, then it will be fine. So the three condition we have written, only the last condition is pending, and this is the isosceles triangle. So I've intentionally kept it at the last because it is not that straightforward. So you'll say A is equal to B and B is not equal to C. Will that work? Of course, but partially. Of course it will work, but it will work partially. So like this, if suppose you wrote A is equal to B and B is not equal to C. So this is fine, right? But it can be the condition if suppose this is A, this is B, and this is C. What if this is C, this is A, and this is B, or this is B, this is C, and this is A, right? So we need to check for the all three combinations, right? So we will write the code accordingly, right? So we'll put this into one bracket and we'll say or, and we will write some similar condition here, or this, like this: A is equal to B, B is equal to not equal to C. So B is equal to C and C is not equal to A. Then C is equal to what is pending? C and B, A is, and A is not equal to B. So all the combinations are covered. So like that, right angled triangle, right? So will this complete the program? I guess no, because here you see if you run this program 60, 45, 78, as all these numbers are not equal to each other, it is going to print the Selous triangle or scalene triangle as output. But you see whether it could be the triangle, because in mathematics, if all the angles is having addition as 180, then only it is a triangle, right? And angle is never zero, also it cannot be negative. So this condition has to be checked first, whether the addition of all these three angle is 180 or not. This is the first condition, and the second one is it has to be greater than 0, right? So all these statements I'll put inside the another if, right? There will be some condition here, it will start from here and it will end till here. If A plus B plus C is equal to 180 and A should be greater than 0 and B should be greater than 0 and C should be greater than 0, right? Then only you should check for this. Otherwise, there is no need to check, right? And after that, I'll write else system dot out dot println this is not a triangle. Now this is the perfect program. Okay, semicolon. So logic is clear and the code is also done. So let's try this. So what should be the output of this program? This should be the output of this program, that this is not a triangle, and we will check for the other combinations as well. So let's just put the same name as that of the class name, save as triangle.java. Okay, so now uh, let's compile and run. Let me zoom this. Java C triangle.java. There are 4 errors. And why? Okay, accidentally I put 7 over here. Right, fine. So yes, here it is. Let me just save this. Now there should be no issue. Right, so now Java triangle. This is not a triangle, the correct output, right? So let's just change this program to 60 60 60. So this is the equilateral triangle. So Java C triangle.java, Java triangle, equilateral triangle, right? So if suppose this is 30 60 90, right? Compile this, run this, right? This is scalene triangle as well as it is right angle triangle, right? So here I have not written if else if, right? So if else if ladder I have not written intentionally, because if else if will what it will do, it will just stop the program if any of the condition becomes true, right? If you are using if else if ladder, then as and when you get the true condition, the execution stops then or there, right? And the control goes out of the if else if ladder, right? So I have intentionally not written the if else if ladder. I have just put if so that each and every condition will be checked, right? So let's just put some other values. So this is the scalene triangle. Again, this is a scalene triangle. Okay, scalene triangle and right angle as well. Okay, fine. So let's just write 20 20 140. So this is isosceles triangle, right angle triangle. Why? I think I have not saved this. Java C, Java. Still it is right angle triangle. Why it is right angle triangle? Let's just analyze this program. It's good that you should get some errors, but you should be able to rectify those as well. So 140 20 20. Okay, I'm so sorry. Here I have not changed the text. Here there should be isosceles triangle. Okay, so let's just save this, zoom this. Java C, Java, yes, isosceles triangle, right? So this was it. Fine, right? So that's all for today. So here we complete the if else part from the Java, right? So I'll be sharing with you the notes. Actually, the video I'll be sharing with you. You will find all those notes in the description of that video, and the programs I'll make some other arrangement for the programs as well. Okay, fine then. That's all for today. We'll close the session. Thank you so much.